All right. Probably can hear me now. Is anybody even out there? Let's see. Anybody online? Nope. Looks like I'm watching myself. So, back to the beginning. Where are we at? So, thank everybody for jumping in and supporting the Sagaverse Chronicles Volume 1 on Backer Kids Comictopia. We are currently at a little over funding, a couple $100, and we're very excited to complete this project. It all came about, I was talking to Backer Kit about Pledge Manager for the Timeless Caverns, and they talked me into getting involved in the Comictopia. We already had some comics planned. We weren't going to do those till next year, so we kind of moved our timelines around a little bit. Makes a little bit more sense as to what we have coming down the pipe, and I'll get into that in a minute. I want to thank everybody, Alexander Macris and everybody else over at Ascendant for all your support, and all the other Comictopia project creators have been fantastic support for just about everybody and each other. It's been a great thing to be a part of. Thank you, everybody. And Backer Kit, you guys are awesome too. Great customer success. I'm a CS guy of a long time now, and I know good CS when I see it. I've done it from the largest enterprises on the planet, and you guys are awesome, so keep it up. Sagaverse, if you're new to us, we've been around for a few years. We published Curse of the Chupacabra last year. It is a almost 300-page full-color adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and for Old School Essentials. Kind of looks a little weird with the green screen, but here's a copy I have here. We also just recently funded the Timeless Caverns, which is a tabletop box set, which is out-of-the-box playable for D&D 5e and OSE. It comes with 117 miniatures now, I think, and 2 massive 36 by 48 canvas maps, a bunch of playing cards, a full-color book that I'm currently finishing up now, and that will be going out at the end of August. So, yeah, about a month from now, those will start shipping. Sagaverse started about 3 or 4 years ago. It was Mikey Arango, the artist, and I, and we were working on a couple small things, and then we started working on Curse of the Chupacabra, and that project scope took on a mind of its own, and eventually I involved John Lacasio and Nika Rakonikova, and we started fleshing it out quite a bit, and it went from being a small idea to a 300-page sandbox adventure. It's got 5 stars on Drive-Thru RPG, and everybody who's looked at it really likes it. I haven't really put it out there and pushed it because I wasn't too happy with the books until I started publishing my own, so you'll be seeing a lot more of that coming up here in the near future. We decided to move on to comic books thanks to Backer Kit and Comictopia inviting us into this. We had some comics planned, but they weren't scheduled for until next year, so kind of rearranged some things and brought on John Coleman, who is considered my dungeon master, and he's been a good friend for a long time. Fits right in with the rest of the team, and he's been working on the Century story for many years, and I'm really thrilled to be helping him make that manifest here. So yeah, we're working on having one almost contiguous universe, in that our comics will mirror our role-playing game and vice versa. The characters will have stats in the game, so if you're a fan of both mediums, you'll be able to really get into this, and if not, either way, you know, they're both still standalone on their own as fully fleshed out and independent products. So just a kind of a synergy I'm hoping to create that will really allow people to build infinitely in their own worlds based in the Sagaverse. Almost like how the Marvel Universe and things should be, but you really can't play in that as a sandbox, so, you know, unless you're playing their game. Anyway, so let's see. I had a couple things I was going to show you tonight. I'm going to walk you through my garage sweatshop studio. I will show you that here in a second. I got a video kind of shows it. Keep in mind, this place is it's not like a disaster. I mean, I call it a disaster, but well, we moved in here, we bought this house. It has this massive warehouse behind us, and it was full of old stuff from this place. Used to be part of a fish farm, so it had all kinds of broken down old equipment and things in there. So we've been rehabbing it over time and cleaning it out, and hopefully by the end of this year, it not only will be where we do our work, but it'll be 2 enclosed sides with a middle that'll be open for gaming. So not only will we be doing all our business in there, we'll also be hosting our own tournaments and other conventions and miniature gatherings, maybe some kind of a role-playing club, something like that. And we're based out of Tampa, so if you're in the area, then hopefully we get to meet up soon. So without further ado, let me bring that on and see if I can get it to work. A long overdue tour of Sagaverse Studios, where we do all of our work out here in the Florida heat death. In case you can't tell, it's already about 10,000 degrees, the surface of the sun here. So I'm just going to kind of walk down the line here. Obviously this place is still rough, but it's all part of our strategy. I'm not spending a ton of money on furniture and things, just the equipment that's needed to keep our costs low as we build the business. We'll replace old desks with actual furniture. It'll be a lot nicer. So you can see here, building up a lot of the Timeless Caverns miniatures. These are going to start getting packaged and sent out here very soon. Some Curse of the Chupacabra minis over here that we just went through and boxed up for Gen Con. Here's our cover printer. It's where inkjet heavy duty can print large format canvases on this. And I'll show you this Chupacabra book in a minute. We make a lot of cool 3D miniatures here, like this awesome gooey cube. This one's in red. You can see it's pretty flexible, and these things are cool because you can use them in a game and basically hide your mini in there. Oop. So now it's engulfed. Moving on down the line, we got some lockers where we keep stuff. We got 3D printers, 16K, 12K, 6K, 6K mostly for bases, things like that. Use these for the minis. They're a mess right now. Got a couple builds on there I got to take down. Once you move down the line here from printing, you go into the wash, the cure. This is all, been down for a couple days. It's a disaster area here. We got the laminator right here, backlit board for tracing and doing covers. This is our perfect binding machine. Does glue binding. Does the you can score your covers on here and bind them, press them. This here is our vacuum form machine. We use these for putting together packaging. You can see like Darth Vader mask here. We made this Vader mask. These are some molds that we use. We'll vacuum form right down on top of this, and I'll show you a video of that at some point. And that makes a mold that we can use to put them in. Everybody, the long overdue tour of Sagaverse. All right, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that sweaty juggy out dying in the Florida heat death, trying to get a video in. I've been trying to do that for a while, but it's just been raining nonstop, and when it's raining out, it is impossible to video out there. The sound of the rain pounding off the metal roof is overpowering. So with that, let's take a quick look at our current project, Sagaverse Chronicles. Days of Yore is our first title. That is written by John LoCascio and drawn by Mikey Arango, who is the artist from Curse of the Chupacabra. He is very talented, and I love his work. If you look at Curse of the Chupacabra, it's 99% his work. There is a little bit of Terrell Bobbitt, who is an old friend of mine that used to be a Marvel artist, did a couple pictures, and Mikey did some color on them. I did a little bit of color in that book, but overall it is awesome. So Days of Yore is kind of, not really kind of, it is definitely based in a primal fantasy world where the elves are young, the dwarves are young, humans just appear on the world. John's a great, unbelievable mind when it comes to creating stories. He's been running campaigns for decades, and this idea he has here is amazing. I'm really excited to see this book manifest. The main character is Yore. He is like I don't want to say like a caveman, but he's kind of a first human, more of a like a primal or a tribal type character. The humans' obvious benefits they bring to a world where the other good aligned races, elves and dwarves and things like that, are struggling for survival. They're very long-lived, but their magic and their divine spark from creation is fading. So the story is really interesting. It's got a lot of all of our titles have a little bit of a mix of fantasy, science fiction, historical fiction, so you'll see a lot of that in there. The next book we have is Mechanical Horizon by Nedka Rokonikova. This is something that she dreamed up pretty quick. Nedka is another amazing mind for creating worlds and has been doing it for many years, and she's also an accomplished writer and ghostwriter. But Mechanical Horizon is like a fantasy steampunk outlaw hero style story. It's really cool, and it's very fast paced, and I really like where the characters how they act, and they're very authentic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. One thing I really like about this book is what Nedka says about it in her blurb. If you are reading on the Pledge Manager pages, Nedka was born on a reservation, and she is a Dakota Sioux First Nations, and wanted to write something that really kind of tells and has a lot of the flavor of her heritage without any of the baggage of the modern day. So you'll get to really enjoy this authenticity, and it's just overall, it's a pretty simple fighting for justice story, but it's a comic book, so it's perfect for that. And she's got unbelievable talent, Nedka, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. I've actually read the whole script for issue 1. It's great. And she's got like issue 2 and 3 and up to like 20 or something. She's very, very active. So safe trip, Nedka. She's on the road right now. She's moving. That's why she can't be here with us. And of course, John LaCasio is working nonstop until he moves down here and helps me take over this business. Let's talk about the last book, which is The Century, the same strange second life of Cybersmith. It's a mouthful, but this book has been in the works for a long time. Johnny Coleman, who's new to the Sagaverse team, but has always been with us in spirit. We go way back, and this story is about a hero from the future that starts his own origin in the past, and it's mostly about what if superheroes had appeared during World War II, and what would the world be like. So this is kind of like an alternate Earth story. There's changes in history. Some events just don't happen. Some things are changed. We do have a timeline for this, and if we actually get to our stretch goal, we'll be including the timeline in our compendium magazine that we'll be putting out. So yeah, this is another one that's going to be fantastic. The art on this one, and I totally skipped over the art of Mechanical Horizon. I'm sorry, Kayla. Kayla is another fantastic artist out of Brazil. We want to work with her for a long time, and she's doing the art of Mechanical Horizon. So that's our all-girl power book. They wanted to work together, and so far so good, and excited to see that. And then the art for Cybersmith is actually 3D art. Matthias Zostany, who's our 3D designer and designed all of our minis for Timeless Caverns and for Curse of the Chupacabra, is putting this together, and all these characters and scenes are modeled from 3D models, so they can be moved around and changed. So you'll see a lot of there won't be a lot of variation. It's all going to be very technical and very clear and digital looking. It's pretty awesome what he's been putting out so far. So hope to be sharing with you a couple of screenshots very soon. I just don't want to jump the gun and send something before it's ready to be shared. I've tended to do that in the past. So anyway, what else we got to talk about today? So that's where we're at there. Let's talk about my pride and joy, Curse of the Chupacabra. I mentioned this earlier. This is a role-playing game for 5th edition and old school essentials. Now, if you're not into role-playing, then this might not interest you, but right now Gen Con is going on, and that is the biggest role-playing convention in the country. There are tens of thousands of people descending upon Indianapolis as we speak. This book is now available as a hardcover, and I'll show you the hardcover video here in a minute. And we're going to be selling it as part of our Comictopia promotion. So if you haven't seen already, earlier today I launched a Gen Con tier for $50. You can get the hardcover edition of Curse of the Chupacabra along with all 3 of our comics and the PDFs. Doesn't include the graphic novel. I felt like that may be a little bit too much redundancy. I'll run a poll and see if anybody wants it. I can add it as an add-on, but you'd basically get this book, the 3 comic books, and the PDFs for $50. Saves you $12 on the minimum of that, just based on MSRP. and these are already ready to be in production, so I can take orders on these and start shipping them out here real soon. So I have a video another sweaty juggy video in the cage. Let me bring that up and show it to you. It's 288 pages. It's about an inch thick with all this beautiful, I don't know if you can hopefully come through on the camera here, but this is beautiful, shiny, the full color artwork really pops off these pages, unlike the POD one. It was really dull. I was not happy with those, so now you'll see me actually starting to push these out there. The best part about it is going through the phases as I've learned it. I've been able to create my own handmade hardcover, which is better than the soft cover. You see we've got some beautiful full color spreads in here. This book is much higher density and quality than what you get off the shelf from most retailers, because they're all ordering stuff from overseas and I got to worry about extra costs in that. We don't. So, Curse of the Chupacabra, hardcover, made in the USA, Sagaverse Studios, retail ready, canvas, hardbacked. I mean, this book is exactly where I wanted it to be at when I first set out to do this project. So the best part about these is the price, probably around $45 when all is said and done. Doesn't really cost me much to do this, and because we keep our costs so low here without spending a ton of money on overhead, we can in turn not price you out of the hobby and give you the books and things that you want so much. Just checking it out. Hope you pick one up. There'll be on sale Gen Con special. Be able to pick it up along with our Sagaverse Chronicles hardcover, graphic novel, which is not hardcover. It is a perfect bound softcover, but you'll be able to pick up this and that for $50. So check it out. Thank you. All right, I'm back. So yeah, that's my pride and joy. It's that one is a little bit beat up. I'll admit I've been tossing that one around and kind of pressure testing it. It is really solid. The point of really showing that to all of you is to know that the quality of what we're making here. The comic books that we're going to be putting out are going to be of the same paper quality that you saw in that book. 100-pound, glossy backed, so those are going to be nice and thick, heavy pages, very bright colored. Well, 80-pound. I have 80-pound. You really can't even tell the difference between 80-pound and 100-pound. But for the comics themselves, I have 80-pound in here and a 100-pound bonded cover. Again, you could hardly notice a difference in that. For the graphic novel, we're going to use the heavyweight 100-pound pages. I think had a little bit of a stapling issue for the comics with the 100-pound, so they don't have to put massive staples in these things. So I think I settled on 80 pounds there. Either way, you know, it's a matter of cents for the cost. So yeah, this is what we'll be putting out. 18-point laminated card cover. That's really heavy duty. Going to hold up real well in any kind of a situation. All the comics are going to come bagged and boarded, so they'll be ready to store. Hopefully you'll read them first. So yeah, taking a look at our project, we are right now at 2285. So I'm hoping that you know, we can get up to 3,000 if we do. Our stretch goal is going to be to create a compendium guide that is like the old G.I. Joe roll call and Marvel handbook of the Marvel universe, where it had all of the characters assembled, and it basically doesn't give you like actual stats, but it, you know, describes their history and their powers, talents, things like that. So you get a good idea of who these characters are and what they're capable of. Won't have a lot of spoilers in it, but it'll definitely give you a lot more flavor of the Sagaverse and how this is all going to go down, and how eventually it all will tie into each other. So in the role-playing game, you're definitely going to see that. Let's see what's coming up here. So yeah, speaking of the role-playing game, quick update for the Timeless Caverns. If you have backed that project, really appreciate it. That was a tremendous lift. It's a huge box set, and I think I showed earlier how many minis are printed out there. That's not even like, you can't even tell how many that actually is from looking at it, but there's hundreds of minis ready to go for that. And I just started really getting good at vacuum forming. I just completed my first order of 100 things, so I had a couple of orders I took on to get good at making these things really professional before I shipped out the product, and yeah, I think we've got it real good. We've got a bunch of products going to Gen Con right now to look really good. So that'll be going to print here in the next 2 weeks, and we'll start shipping those out at the end of the month. And I mean print, the book and the cards are the final things that need to get printed out on that. I would say probably at least 80% of the minis are printed. What remains are just like the tiny, like I need swarms of sturges and some ghouls, and those things print in a matter of hours. So with those 3 printers, I can crank them out really fast. So we're right on time to finish that up. We'll start shipping those in August. What's coming up next for the Sagaverse? We got online GooeyCon during Gen Con, since I really couldn't travel up there right now. I'll be working with the Gooey Cube and Alphinius Goose team, running some D&D modules. I'm actually running Blood for the Con, which is a 3-day mini campaign. It runs from 2 to 6 Eastern, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got 2 seats left if you're interested. I'm hoping that's going to be a real good time. Got 4 people so far, and that's good enough to get started. The Gooey Cube team really impressed me last year out at GooeyCon. I had to see their games running and everything they did, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And I'm really glad I got the chance to work with them on this. Hopefully I'll be working with them next year out at GooeyCon a little bit. Besides that, the Sagaverse Studios will be at QuestCon in Orlando coming up early September. We'll have a booth out there. I won't be running any games, but we'll have all of our merchandise out there, books. No comics yet. Probably won't have the Timeless Caverns ready yet, but we'll have a bunch of minis, maps, books, etc., etc. Stuff for Warhammer, stuff for D&D, dice. So hope to see you there. And the one after that is Tampa NerdCon. We're sponsoring that. That's going to be a good one. First weekend in November, right here in Tampa. It's our home con, and we're doing everything we can to make that one great. We got 3 boardrooms going this year, and we'll be running games there. We'll be in full force. I'll be running some Everyday Heroes out there. I ran some of that out at GooeyCon. It's great, and they're sponsoring the con, so I'm happy to be running their stuff there. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, again, thank you, everybody. That's pretty much all I had. Things are going really well, and again, thank you very much. If you can, consider picking up a copy of Curse of the Chupacabra, helping us reach that stretch goal. I don't think we have anybody in the chat or anything, so I guess I can't do any giveaways, but maybe what I'll do is run another one of these, because I think that on Comictopia somebody else is live right now too, so kind of a crap time to do this, but hey, I got my Wirecast out and got my chops back, so could do this a lot easier next time. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. If you're catching us on the rebound, please consider backing us. You can find the campaign at tinyurl.com/Sagaverse. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you. God bless and Godspeed.